Alright, so this one is pattern 5 of the E major pentatonic. So, like we just kind of ended the last one on, we're going to start on the 5th note of that scale. So, player E major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th note is a C sharp, so we're going to start on a C sharp note. So, our C sharp on our E string is the 9th fret. And we're going to go from that first note, 9th fret C sharp, we're going to play the 12th fret of the E string for our E note. Then we go to the A string and we're going to do the 9th fret to the 11th fret. That's F sharp to G sharp. And then we have the 9th fret on the D string for our B to C sharp. And then 9th fret on the G to the 11th fret. And that's E to F sharp. And then on the B string, it's 9 to 12. So that's G sharp to B. And on the high E string, it's going to be the 9th fret to the 12th fret again. So that's C sharp to E. And that one, some of you might have recognized as a minor pentatonic shape. And that's pattern 1 of minor pentatonic if you're going to do that. And yeah, so that's C sharp minor pentatonic. That's the first pattern. But that same shape in E major is pattern 5 of E major. It's can like feel that that's like confusing, but it's a matter of just what worked for me was just playing the scale shapes, getting the muscle memory down for them, and then it kind of clicked for me later on when I was actually writing out all of the notes in a scale. So I did like C major and I wrote out the notes with the formula for a major scale, the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, and then I drew like a section of a fretboard on a piece of paper and I wrote in all the notes and I wrote in the numbers for all the scale degrees, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I did like a tab of how to play that up and down. And then that's when it kind of clicked for me was I started looking back on the sheets and I was like, pattern 2 starts on the 2nd note, pattern 3 starts on the 3rd note, pattern 4 starts on the 4th note. And that just, I don't know, something about having it written out on paper sort of made that click for me more than just doing the muscle memory stuff. But I guess the point I'm kind of rambling around is, again, there's only so many patterns and shapes, and they start to repeat once you start learning them. And then that's sort of where it gets easy because you just move those shapes around. So it's like right there we did E major pattern number 5. But if I move that down 2 frets, I just did a different key So that would be 2 frets down. The whole step down from E is a D. So I just did D major, pattern 5. And if you move it down 2 frets again, that's C major, pattern 5. So those few shapes moved around, it's just like just a matter of doing it. That's sort of like, I don't know. I feel I hear like questions a lot of like, but it doesn't make sense. And then the answer is kind of like, well, are you like, did you try? Did you sit down? Did you play the scale? You know, because everybody wants to just like, rip crazy solos and everything. But unless you have like that natural talent, which some people do, congrats. But otherwise, like just learning these basic things is gonna drastically improve your playing, and a lot of that just kind of ties into you're just sitting there with the instrument in your hand and you're just playing these things, and then the chances of coming up with something skyrocket just because you have an instrument in your hand and you're actually like playing something. And it gets at first it might be boring, but then once you get these like memorized, that's where you can start having fun with it. Like once you have like that memorized and learning all 5 patterns, that's how you start moving like horizontally through the fretboard instead of just like vertically. Like something that I'll throw in a lot if we do just some jam, some easy little trick to throw in. You can play across those scales, but only on a couple strings. So if we do, I guess, that, and that's just playing the B string and the G string of every E major pattern that we just learned. It's just doing and then moving up to the next pattern, next pattern, next pattern, next pattern, and then all of the stuff that happened down here is just going to repeat up here. Oh yeah, this one. So that's where, yeah, learning the shapes, then you'll be able to use them, and not getting so like discouraged with like, oh, there's so many things to learn. Like there is a lot of stuff to learn, but once you start learning them, you'll start to recognize the patterns and realize like, oh, like, these 7 shapes I learned for my A major scale. If I want to play B major, I'm going to use the same shapes. I'm just going to play them in a different spot on the neck and get the notes I need for B major kind of thing. And that's where we'll do, like, I'm probably going to reference the C sharp minor with E major. And, like, if you know your A minor pentatonic stuff and you know all 5 patterns for that, you know C major pentatonic because it's the same notes in both of those scales. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling. Point being, just, work on that. What did we just do? We just did pattern 5. So yeah, you can just work away on that. And then once that's, muscle memory, so you can play it in. all that down, and then you can start having fun with it. And the reason that I'm rambling again, but learning the notes and like what scale you're playing depending on where your hand is in, that's when you can look at a piece of music and see somebody playing and tell like, oh, okay, you know what, like this person's playing whatever chords they're doing. I can do something to fit with that, whether it's the triads you want to throw in as a cool second guitar part, or do some triads in a solo. Just knowing like the kind of basic fundamental fretboard stuff, like where your notes are, scale shapes, and arpeggios, like the triads, then you really can kind of unlock jamming and elevate your playing and do like neater ideas. But yeah, I'll quit rambling and yeah, just work on all that.